Fuck, $20. He owe me $20.
For the $20.
$20.
He bet you $20.
Y'all can't get this.
Come on, baby.
Let me see what you got, right?
Ready?
Say you gonna hit it one time, or?
One time.
You know, there is a thing called depreciation.
He doesn't have that, Your Honor.
I'm saying, for you, there's a thing called depreciation.
Oh, you said depreciation. I'm sorry.
We have to talk about the property value of the thing that was destroyed. And it ain't. No.
But.
Tell me where the freak's at.
A friendship doesn't have enough cushion to survive a busted iPad. Traveling technician Michael Tillman is suing his friend for an iPad and laptop. Defendant Devlin Clark says it was an accident. Now it's Joe time.
Let's see, Mr. Tillman, you're suing Mr. Clark. It would seem that December 4th year last, the two of you were hanging out in the bathroom smoking cigarettes when you decided to step outside. Your iPad, which was on the sink countertop, was knocked off by the defendant. You say the defendant also broke your 15-inch MacBook Pro.
Yes, Your Honor.
Year preceding, and still is not paid for that. You say that, again, that was a result of his negligence or ineptitude. Your defense, sir, is that it was an accident.
Yes.
And that the only reason you touched the iPad before it fell and was broken is because the plaintiff asked you to pick it up for him and you dropped it by accident.
Yes.
Okay. You first. Mr. Tillman.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to explain how I know Devlin first is through my mother. I met him when I first moved to New York in 2003. We've been mutual friends, you know, of each other for a while. We have a few other friends in common also that he introduced me to. The point is, he shows up to my house on New Year's after me not seeing him for a few months. It's actually the day before New Year's. And I haven't seen him in a while, so we were a little excited. I'm like, you know, what's up, where you been? How are things going? And he's like, okay, you know, he wanted to get drunk. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like something that I want to do too. You know, it's New Year's Day, so I'm like, let's do that then. Let's go get drunk. So we go to the liquor store and get 3 bottles of alcohol. And return back home, and he started to drink. I had one drink and fell asleep before 12 o'clock. And I'm not even sure what he ended up doing that night. I do know when I woke up the next morning, I had something I call my morning meds. That's a group of stuff that I need to do in the morning before I'm able to do anything else. And it's on my iPad, usually where I do it, or from the computer. And it's checking emails and different things of that nature. So I wake up and I grab my iPad and I go to the bathroom. Someone's in there. I knock on the door. He's in there. I'm asking him, "Are you using the restroom?" He's like, "No." I walk in. You know, we usually sit in the bathroom and smoke cigarettes. I'm a single parent of 2 kids, 2 and 6-year-olds. So I don't smoke around them. I walked out of the bathroom. Walked to the bathroom and I'm like, oh, I said, oh, I forgot my cigarettes. So I laid my iPad on the sink and I went and got the cigarettes. It was literally 5 seconds. It was in the room right outside of the restroom. Come back in and I pick my iPad up and I go to, you know, finish what I was doing, and something seemed a little odd. I didn't realize it at first. And then I'm like, I look over at him like, you broke my iPad. And he's just sitting there looking stupid, and I'm like, say something. And he's like, I'm like, don't even sit and tell me that you didn't break it, because I'm pretty, you know, what else could have happened to it? And then he confessed. He's like, okay, yeah, I did break it, but he already knows that he cannot touch my stuff. Ever since he broke the MacBook, and it was over. Like, he can't touch anything of mine. So, you know, I kept asking Mr. Clark, I was like, you're going to have to pay for this. I want my money for this. And he's like, all right, I'm going to get it. I'm like, yeah, but this is not going to work like with the MacBook. Like, you've been owing me that money for a year. I'm like, I want my money and I want it like soon. Now, how are you going to get my money? He's like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the job and this and that. I'm like, no, it won't work. I was expecting him to go loan the money from somebody or something. That never happened. Mr. Clark still every day is telling me the same thing. Oh, I'm going to get your money. And then I tell him, like, I'm going to sue you if you don't start making a better effort because I don't know what to do. And he left my house and didn't come back. I ended up, like, catching him somewhere 5 days later or whatever. And I'm like, I filed a small claims suit against you. And he just looked at me like I had two heads. And when he came to my house, he saw that I wasn't lying, that I really had done it. And he's like, well, we've been friends for X amount of time. Why would you be suing me? And I'm like, friends don't have anything to do with that $500 and something iPad, because I had to work to pay for that, you know. That was a lot of money. That was a lot of hours I had to go to work for that. I don't like to go to work. I'm just saying, I do it because I need to make a living, you know. So I go to work, but it's not something I want to get up and go do. So I mean, if I could have a free iPad, then be it. So
well, he seems to be unemployed and he doesn't go to work. But I mean, at least you seem to have the wherewithal, character-wise, to get up and go.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's go to the defendant. All right.
Okay. I went to pick it up because it was like kind of like at the edge, and when I went to pick it up, it slipped out my hand and hit the floor.
Why did you want to pick it up?
Because I was trying to see what time it was, and it was no time in the bathroom. Ain't no clock in the bathroom, so I had to pick it up.
I have one here. Do you think I'm going to open this thing up to see what time we are facing right now, or am I going to look at my watch, you know?
Well, I don't have a watch, Your Honor.
But his phone was in his lap.
My phone was dead at the time.
Well, he needed to know the time to figure out how much time he was not missing by not being employed and having absolutely nothing to do. What about the Mac product? How did you manage to break that?
Well, my little cousin was playing. It was playing with his kids, and they was all playing around. And I was sitting on top of the stairs, and they was playing around. And one of the kids was playing around. They hit me in the back of my leg, and then I was sitting at the top of the stairs. So I went to brace my fall when I felt like myself was about to fall down the stairs. So I grabbed onto the wall and I had the MacBook Pro in my hand. And when I went down, almost fell. I grabbed the wall and the MacBook slipped out my hands and down the stairs it went.
Have you ever thought of securing employment by simply writing up some of your personal episodes and submitting them as proposed sitcom episodes?
No, Your Honor.
We'll be right back with Judge Joe Brown. We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The plaintiff in this case says he took his iPad into the bathroom on a smoking break with a friend. He says he went out for a minute and returned to busted belongings and a guilty-looking friend. Let's get back to the courtroom.
Please continue.
Well, my issue, Your Honor, was that he wasn't supposed to move it. I have a very large desk, and a 15-inch MacBook is too big to walk around with. He wants to walk around and be on MySpace or whatever, and I'm telling him, it's 15 inches, leave it on the desk. He gets up and walks. If you wouldn't have got up and walked around, then the kids couldn't have bumped into you. I mean, I need stuff like this for work, so I mean, I have a computer and I have my little portable devices. I'm a technician, and my kids know better. I shouldn't have to be on his back more than I'm on my kid's back. I'm like, sit down and leave my stuff alone.
Clumsy.
Clumsy don't have anything to do with following directions. If I say no, don't touch that, that's what it means. It's not, okay, Mr. Clark, be nice now. Don't touch my stuff. I don't want to tell you again. Like, you're a grown man.
It was an accident. We friends.
Yes, but the bottom line is you didn't bump into it. You say you actually attempted to take control of it.
Yeah, but still, we've been friends so how long? It shouldn't be still be over no petty merchandise.
Go get my money and I won't. It's just that simple.
You know, there is a thing called depreciation.
He doesn't have that, Your Honor.
I'm saying for you, there's a thing called depreciation.
Oh, you said depreciation. I'm sorry.
We have to talk about the property value of the thing that was destroyed. And it ain't. No.
But, Your Honor, see, but it's. I can laugh now, but I wasn't laughing then, so I was Your Honor, I was very upset. Just take a look at those spider webs all across that screen. That hurt me to my heart. This thing was probably less than a month old when
It was a tender, sweet little iPad that was doing so well with all of its apps and doing its thing, and you were checking business and doing what you can do with it, and now it's dead. That's terminal, man. Focus, get a good grip on something. Yeah. 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 All that little light,
Right.
Your award will be $2,000 in your cost.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
And this courtroom is...
Amy Barnes is suing her ex-boyfriend Keith Douglas in the amount of $390, the cost of lingerie she alleges he destroyed with scissors.
Ms. Barnes, why are you in court today?
Well, Your Honor, my ex-boyfriend is legit crazy. He cut up over $300 of my lingerie when we broke up, and I deserve to be repaid for it.
What about that, Mr. Douglas?
Your Honor, first of all, let me say that lingerie belongs to me. I purchased them for her to wear for me, for my satisfaction. So I don't understand why she's suing me for my property.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I've never seen him once walk around in those bras, panties, anything that he bought me. So it's ridiculous for him to say that they are his. It was clearly a gift for me.
She hasn't seen
Well, let's find out, first of all, what your evidence is, what kind of lingerie it was.
Your Honor, I will show you. We have many pieces, such as this. Clearly cannot wear this anymore. There's this. It's all ruined. These. Your Honor, look at this.
All right, is that lingerie that you wish to have admitted into evidence?
Yes. Yes, it is.
All right. Is there anything in addition to that you wish to have admitted?
Yes, Your Honor. He also left this lovely note on top of the lingerie. It says, "Leave if you want, but no one is going to see you in these but me." This was clearly an act of spite, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Have you had an opportunity to review this evidence, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
All right, court will receive it. All right, I'm looking at a note that says, "Leave if you want, but no one is going to see you in these but me." It is not signed. That's the note. I don't need an explanation. I'm just saying that is not signed. Is that your handwriting, sir? Or your
Yes, ma'am, it is.
All right, you're admitting that. All right, and I am also looking at lingerie, and I'm looking to see if it's damaged. And you are contending that it is, in fact, damaged. All right. And so you're contending that it was cut up?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that it was the defendant who cut it up?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's find out a little bit more about this relationship.
Well, Your Honor, I would be happy to tell you. My ex-boyfriend was the most possessive, controlling person in the world. He was checking my phone constantly, wouldn't let me out of the house in certain outfits, was like controlling what I wear, who I was hanging out with. I wasn't allowed to see friends. This is a huge reason of why we broke up.
And how long were you in this relationship with him?
A little bit over a year, Your Honor.
And for how long was he controlling and possessive?
It started when I moved in, which was 3 months into our relationship. But then it got a little bit better in the middle, and that's when he started buying me all these gifts, such as the lingerie, to try to butter me up. The last straw was taking a trip to Vegas for my best friend's bachelorette party, and he went nuts, Your Honor, calling me constantly, accusing me of things, of, flirting with other people. She
packed up my lingerie and to go to Vegas. Why do you need lingerie in Vegas if you're with me?
Is there any possibility in your mind that she might want to wear this lingerie just because she enjoys wearing this lingerie? Nobody else has to see her but looking at herself in the mirror, perhaps. Is that a possibility?
She does that at the house.
She does.
The Vegas mirror is not going to be any different than the house mirror.
And coming up,
You did cut it up, didn't you? You admit to that.
Because it's mine.
All right. So you felt you had a right to cut it up, right?
Absolutely.
And you felt she was going to go to Las Vegas and wear this to try to catch or keep or hold or entertain or interest another man, right?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Why do you think that?
Because she keeps in contact with her ex-boyfriends, and she's always on the phone with someone, some man with a deep voice, and keeps calling her, and she keep talking about like it's her college roommate or something like that.
Your Honor, he just suspects all that. They are all friends. This is just because he's jealous and possessive and thinks that everybody that I talk to, I'm trying to flirt with and I'm trying to get with. It's ridiculous.
Who talks to their ex-boyfriends?
I am allowed to have friends.
Why do you
Your
talk to your
Honor.
ex-boyfriends? What are they doing for you?
They are friends. Can't I have friends?
Your ex-boyfriends, not your friends.
Mr. Douglas, do you think she shouldn't have a right to speak to anyone that she wishes, including her ex-boyfriends?
Not her ex-boyfriends, no. She should not speak to. I don't speak to my ex-girlfriends. I respect her, and I don't speak to my
But
ex-girlfriends.
I would never tell you not to.
All right, the court is ready. The court is ready to rule.
Judge Allred's verdict.
Clearly, the defendant gave it to the plaintiff and gave it as a gift. And at that point, it became the plaintiff's property. So in this case, I think you should reassess yourself, and I'm going to find judgment for plaintiff.
What kind of shit is that?